Hello everyone, I'm Nappa and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of South Leesburg Home Construction News. Based on the response I received from the first episode, I'll be releasing a new episode with the target date of the first of every month. I will cover relevant information from the Leesburg City Commission and Planning Commission meetings, relevant topics from the Lake County Commission meetings, and when they occur, the Lake-Sumter Metropolitan Planning Organization Community Advisory Committee meetings. I am targeting these videos to be about 10 minutes depending on the relevant topics for the previous month, but they will vary. The first meeting I will review was the Planning Commission meeting on May 22nd. The first topic of interest is Margaretta Estates, which is at the southeast corner of County Road 48 and Number 2 Road. This consists of 196 acres, 103 of which are already annexed to the city of Leesburg. 96 acres will be annexed as part of this PUD. The plans are shown in the photos to the right. They are proposing 586 detached units with 2-floor maximum height. The density comes to 2.99 units per acre. This will be reviewed by the school board and is subject to a mitigation agreement, which means that if there are not enough seats available, the developer will have to pay for each seat that the school projects that they will need. The first photo to the right shows all the parcels included in this proposed annexation and PUD. The northwest section of the property is wetlands and includes Lake Margaretta and will not be disturbed. There will be 3 sections, A, B, and C. In the center of the property, there is a section of land classified as Lake County Rural Transition, and it is not included in the plan. The top section of the plan is now classified as Lake County Rural Transition, and it will be converted to City of Leesburg Estate Residential. The property will have up to 5 parks, 4 ponds, and an amenities area shown in this photo. The county is going to require a traffic light at the intersection of County Road 48 and Number 2 Road. They will also require that where the development butts up to Number 2 Road, the lanes of traffic will have to be 12 feet for both lanes and 4 feet shoulders on both sides of the road. No townhomes, commercial buildings, well or septic will be allowed in this PUD. Letters were sent to surrounding neighbors and there was no opposition. The property is at the eastern boundary of land that the city of Leesburg can annex, with the Alaha being east of that boundary. The recommendation from the Planning Commission was for denial in a 3-2 vote, citing traffic and population density issues. The first reading before the City Commission is scheduled for June 23rd, and the second reading is scheduled for August 11th, but these dates can change. The second topic from the Planning Commission meeting is the Dilly Lake multifamily and convenience store project at the northwest corner of State Road 27 and the Florida Turnpike. The first 2 photos show you the location of the property with State Road 27 to the east and the Turnpike to the south. The third photo shows the layout with the gas station convenience store at the northern section and the apartment buildings in the center surrounded by parking on the outside of the apartments. There will be 300 apartments and buildings with a 3-floor maximum and up to 10,000 square feet of commercial space, but 6,500 square feet is likely. There was a request by one of the planning commissioners to include daycare facilities in the commercial area, and that will be considered by the developer. This property is also subject to a concurrency agreement by the Lake County School District. There will be a 4-foot berm along State Road 27 with landscaping and trees on top to isolate the apartments from the road and vice versa. There was a lot of discussion about the need for such apartments, and there was speculation by the developer and the planning department that most of the traffic from this complex would use the turnpike to travel either north or south to Claremont and beyond for employment, although it was speculated that there will be an increased traffic load into Leesburg proper. The Commission recommended approval in a 5-0 vote. The Dilly Lake multifamily and convenience store project will be presented to the Leesburg City Commission for a first reading on July 14th, and the second reading and deciding vote will be on August 25th. But these dates are subject to change. The second meeting I will review is the Lake County Commission meeting held on May 20th. During this meeting, Commissioner Sean Parks discussed organizing a meeting with all municipalities in the county to develop a joint planning agreement, or JPA, and sunset the existing Interlocal Service Boundary Agreement, or ISBA. The ISBA outlines which lands can be annexed by each city within the county. The county has invited all cities to a meeting on June 30th to discuss the structure of the new JPA with the goal of establishing a unified agreement to guide and regulate growth throughout Lake County. Commissioner Parks also proposed that the June 30th meeting include a discussion on a road funding strategy to address long-standing infrastructure needs. He noted a $710 million shortfall in road project funding. Parks suggested that if both the county and cities contributed $40 to $50 million annually, it would still take approximately 10 years to complete the current backlog of road projects, not accounting for future projects spurred by ongoing development. Possible funding sources mentioned included reallocating a portion of the city local penny sales tax, increasing the gas tax, and raising development impact fees. However, it is evident that existing residents will likely bear some of the financial burden, though the exact funding strategy has yet to be finalized. There was also a discussion about cities assuming ownership and responsibility for roads within their boundaries. Major connector roads like County Road 48 and County Road 441 would be excluded. The Commission also discussed the Leesburg Project near Radio Road, which I previously covered in my May 13th video. This involves the proposed annexation and rezoning of the Old Mill subdivision, a planned development located north of Route 441 and east of Radio Road. This project has generated significant public concern, especially following its first reading at the April 28th Leesburg City Commission meeting. At the May 20th County Commission meeting, officials highlighted that parts of the property are environmentally sensitive, containing rare and unique vegetation that would be impacted by the proposed changes. The county had previously attempted to preserve this land, though those efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. To address current concerns, County Attorney will draft a letter which Commissioner Timothy Morris will present at the June 9th Leesburg City Commission meeting, where the final vote on the annexation and rezoning is scheduled. The third meeting I'll review is the May 27th Leesburg City Commission meeting. At this meeting, it was announced that the city is in active discussions with Commissioners Sean Parks and Timothy Morris regarding the proposed sunsetting of the ISBA and the development of a joint planning agreement in its place. Further discussion on the form and structure of the JPA are expected to take place at the June 30th meeting with the county and all municipalities currently party to the ISBA. Now I want to finish with some commentary on the growth issue. For the past 5 years, the Leesburg City Commission has recklessly approved wave after wave of planned unit developments and housing projects, enough to nearly triple our population if fully built out. And all the while, they turned a blind eye to the infrastructure needs that would be expected to support this explosive growth. Their gamble? That the county or the state would swoop in afterward to fix the roads, expand utilities, and shoulder the burden. But now the reality is painfully clear. We are entering a new and uncertain era of infrastructure funding, and it won't be Tallahassee or Lake County coming to the rescue. No, we, the residents of Leesburg, current and future, will be left holding the bill. What form will that take? Will our property taxes rise? Will new fees be imposed? That remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The consequences of short-sighted planning and blind growth will fall squarely on our shoulders. It's time for accountability. It's time for leadership that values foresight over frenzy. That concludes the summaries presented in this video. If you found this content helpful or interesting, please let me know by leaving a comment on YouTube. I do check them regularly. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to respond. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.